One. And welcome to another Cardinals Nest. This is the virtual Cardinals Nest where we meet a couple of St. Mary's University student athletes. I'm your host, Dean Beckman, the faculty athletic representative for St. Mary's. My co-host is Donny Nadeau, the sports information director for the Cardinals. And Donny, our guest today, you would swear that they're twins. And I'm not saying that because I think they look alike or anything, but they're both seniors. They're both the exact same major, and they're also both from Wisconsin. So, Donny, good job. You picked us out a couple of twins for our show today.
Not a bad trifecta there. But I don't know if they'd want to claim the twins, though, because if memory serves me, one of these two is a very big Brewers fan. So I don't think Brooke wants you talking about the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But Brooke Shefchik and Tanner Moris are our guests today. So Brooke and Tanner, welcome to the Cardinals Nest. Now, Brooke, this is nothing new for you. You have been on the show before, so we'll let you kind of start us off, tell us where you're from and how you ended up coming to St. Mary's.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that we're twins because when I was telling my parents about Tanner, a guy in my class that were all involved in the same things and stuff, they're like, my mom's like, so does he look like you? Because you sound like twins. So it's funny that you but my name is Brooke Shefchik. I'm from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. As Dean mentioned, I am a senior, which is crazy. I came to St. Mary's actually as a swimmer. I had intended my 4 years to be on the swim team, but then plans changed and I'm on the cross country team now, which I could not be more grateful for. It's been so fun. And I'm a biology pre-physical therapy major with a minor in sport business. So.
All right, well, that's great. So Brooke, thank you. And Tanner, now you see how it's done, right? Not difficult at all. So, and of course, during your years here at St. Mary's, you've had to introduce yourself plenty of times in class, right? So go ahead, we'll go to you now.
I'm Tanner Moris. I am a senior on the cross country and track team here at St. Mary's. I am from Crandon, Wisconsin, which is up in the northeast corner. I originally came to St. Mary's kind of on a whim, honestly. I was touring Winona State, and my dad was like, let's go check out St. Mary's since it's just up the road, and had an amazing experience with the cross country team. Just felt super welcome, super at home, and I kind of just knew it was the right spot for me. Like Brooke, I'm also a biology pre-physical therapy major, and another thing that we share, we're both RAs this year, so it's another thing that we have in common.
Now we're up to 4. Now I think we need to do more of an investigation.
Well, Dean, there is a certain reason why we really wanted Tanner on, and that's so I could publicly apologize to him for how many times I've misspelled his last name.
Usually you put in the 2 R's, is that right?
There's only 1 R and not 2, so I get to publicly apologize to Tanner after 4 years. I swear I'll get it right.
But there are 2 N's in his first name, I see.
That's right. That'll remind me. If you two both could just talk a little bit, being both seniors, talk a little bit about what the future holds for you. Like you said, you're both pre-physical therapy majors. Brooke, what are you looking for as the next step? What do you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah, well, the dream job would be to be the physical therapist for the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't even know if that's a job title, but I'll make it one. But yeah, just Tanner and I, again, same route, in the process of applying to PT graduate programs. I want to stay around the Midwest, so Minnesota, Wisconsin, and I did apply to the University of Iowa, and I know that my dad will probably disown me being the big Badger fan that he is. So we'll see.
How about you, Tanner?
Yeah, so pretty much in the exact same boat. I'm also going for physical therapy. So we're talking over the summer, like which schools are you applying to for PT graduate school, and kind of bounced ideas off of each other about like why we're picking these ones, and kind of looked at pricing and things of that nature. So I'm kind of in the same boat, wanting to stay Midwest for schooling. I've just found that it's just cheaper in general, but then I'm really considering doing some travel physical therapy for the first few years after I'm out of physical therapy school. I'd like to get out west more because I really enjoy the mountains.
I'm curious too, as far as this season's cross-country season is concerned. Do you find your practices being mostly normal, since cross-country is a little bit more of a solitary sport anyway? Kind of tell us how your practices, if they've changed at all.
Yeah, I can speak to that. I mean, honestly, our practices are pretty much identical to what they have been. Nothing's really changed besides having to do the COVID-19 precautions. We had to do the pods originally, and then temperature checks before every practice, and then masks like that. But it's been very nice, especially during COVID, that it's been normal more or less, which has been really nice to have some sort of normalcy and back in the routine. And it's been really nice to get outside and not have to wear the mask, because I mean that gets to be a lot. So it's been really a good stress reliever. Even more, it's always been a good stress reliever, but even more so this year, I would say.
How about the fact that you put in all the training and you really don't get that opportunity every 2 weeks to kind of see where you stack up against opponents? Do you guys in training, do you do any type of virtual races amongst yourselves or anything like that?
Yeah, so it's every 2 to 3 weeks, we're kind of doing little time trials just with the cross-country team. So originally, kind of like when we first got back on campus, we did a 2-mile time trial on the track, and then we did a 5K in the Bluffs. And then this upcoming Friday, we're actually doing another time trial on the track, and we're kind of getting more so into a little bit track and field training. So we're splitting up. I'm in a 3K, 5K group, so more the distance side of track and field. So I'll be running a 5K as well as some other people, but some people in the group are going to be running miles and different distance events.
And when we are our practice when the weeks that we are doing the time trial, our coach treats it like it is an actual meet. So we have a proper rest day beforehand and pre-meet day. So although I've never had the experience of going to a cross-country meet, I think this is probably the closest that we can get in our current time. So,
Brooke, how has the adjustment been for you going from swimming and diving, which again is, as Dean said, it is kind of a solitary sport, but going from swimming and diving to cross country, how has that adjustment been for you?
Yeah, well, I feel like it really hasn't been that much of an adjustment besides moving my body in a different way. The mentality of it and the mental game that is involved in cross country and swimming, I feel is really similar, especially coming from a distance background in swimming. So I understand having to be in the competition mode for upwards of 20 minutes. So just that. And then it is nice, again, kind of like Tanner said, just to have that normalcy of going to practice every day. So that hasn't been too much of an adjustment. But definitely my body can feel that running is a lot different than swimming. So that's really been the only thing that I've noticed too much.
Tanner, I think it's safe to say that Dean and I both run, but we're what I'd call joggers. We're not runners like you guys are. But talk a little bit about your summer training, because I know you guys put in a ton of miles over the summer. Just give people an idea of what a week would be like in training for cross country.
Yeah, so summer mileage is extremely important for cross country specifically, also for track, but more so for cross country because cross country is in the fall, so it's right after. We focus mostly on, honestly, just getting a good base and then working on a little bit of speed implementing and ramping it up throughout the summer. But right away, it's a lot of just easy mileage. And then we'll probably towards the end of June, and then in July, we'll ramp it up and throw in some speed days, get some hills in there, and just start building until we're kind of we don't want to peak right away, but we want to peak like during cross country season. So it's like not 100% effort during the summer, but it's more so just getting miles on your legs so that you're ready for the intensity of the season. So I'd say it was putting on roughly 40 miles a week during the summer. And now in season, we're kind of up towards like 50 miles about.
Okay.
I was going to say, now, before Brooke responds, I knew Donnie and I were on the same wavelength, that when you say, you know, kind of put on like an easy base, I have a feeling your easy base is a little different than our easy base.
When you said, I knew, Tanner, I had an idea. I had a little bit of an idea of what an easy week was, but 40 miles. My hard week is 10. So, you know, like I said, I'm a jogger, not a runner.
So, but Brooke, so how did your summer training differ from when you were in swimming to now you knew you were going to be coming into cross country?
Yeah, well, it was definitely weird. I haven't actually been in the pool since conference, which was the middle of February. So that aspect of my training has kind of been thrown off. But getting into running was a lot easier than I thought. I thought I was going to not be as motivated to do it, but my mileage is not 40 miles a week. I'm more at about 25. But my legs weren't used to actually working because when I swam, I'll admit, I never really even kicked. I was all upper body. So I'm kind of feeling the repercussions of that. I hurt my IT band over the summer. So it was mostly just learning how to recover from an injury like that. And I actually just strained my calf. And so it's been up and down, but when I am able to run, it's been a lot of fun. So.
All right. Well, I think it's time, Donnie, that we get to. Oh, go ahead.
Before we get to the fun stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to touch base on one more thing. And we both mentioned that you're RAs this year. And Tanner, I know for a fact for both of you, you guys are extremely busy. And it isn't just RA, and it isn't just schoolwork, and it isn't just cross country. Talk a little bit about what else you guys are doing, because I know your plates are incredibly full.
Well, funny, we're also both leaders of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes here on campus. So we have that going for us too. I can't even think of all that I do, but what about you?
Yeah, so I'm the club president, and then she's the vice president. So another thing. Honestly, it's mostly being an RA, running, classes and homework, and the club. So it's pretty busy. I'd say I kind of learned what my limit was sophomore year. I was involved in some other clubs as well, and I just found that it was just too much for me mentally, and my grades and everything kind of just suffered because I was spread so thin. So I've since then cut back, and I've really found like my happy medium where like I enjoy being busy, but I was at the point where I was stretched too thin, and that can also be an issue. So I'd say cross country, and especially just being a student athlete and being so involved on campus, it's really allowed me to push myself to the limit to see where I can do with time managing. And I feel like I've gotten really good at managing my time and being effective with it.
And kind of jumping off of Tanner, in the last 2 years, I've gotten really involved in the college ministry at a local church in town. So that's been fun because I kind of am able to use that as my stress relief. But I used to work for the admissions office, and I would give tours and things, but it just was not going to work this year. So yeah, kind of figuring out what the balance is. Tanner and I are also both working on our senior thesis as biology majors. That takes up a lot of time too. So just figuring it out and still enjoying our senior year. So
and still having time for us, Dean.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Yep. So, all right. So now we're going to get into some trivia, some personal questions. We'll see how well the two of you know each other. So, Donnie, we'll let you kind of start things off.
This first question is extremely hard for me as a Viking fan. So I'm struggling with this. But this one goes to Tanner. Your favorite team is the Green Bay Packers. I'm sure you're feeling pretty good right now. 4 games in, how about just a little synopsis of how you feel the Packers are right now?
I'm loving it. I don't know. It's been fun. I mean, sports are always more enjoyable when your team does well, I think. I think that goes without saying. But it's just been, I don't know, it's just been really nice on Sunday to take a little bit of time and see your team do well. It's good, helps with stress relief for me at least. Just a little reprieve from everything. And yeah, I got nothing but positive things to say about the Pack this year.
Oh, wait now, Brooke. Yours is better, so you better be ready. You filled out on your questionnaire. You said nobody knows how much I like to have personal song concerts in the car. So my question,
freshman year, I remember.
My question to you is, what was your favorite personal concert in the car? And can we get a little review of it?
No, that will not be happening. But my favorite song to sing in the car is "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins. Something about that song, I don't know. If it doesn't motivate you to just like really get after it, I don't know what will. And my dad, I make him listen to it with me in the car, and he's like, I don't know, this song just isn't. And I'm like, wait till we get to that drums. You'll be ready then.
That's a great 80s song, Brooke. It's a great 80s song.
I was just going to ask if you did the drum solo on the steering wheel there. Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right. So now we'll get into the trivia. And so do you each have writing and paper there? Something to write with and some paper or anything?
Might have to get some. I
That's
have mass.
That's good.
I have on my person right now.
All right, we're getting some here because we're going to see. You're going to answer individually, and then we'll see how you do.
All right.
Okay, you're ready to go. Okay, here's the first question. And this one, you're just going to write down a number. You'll each write down a number. How many miles of trails does St. Mary's have? According to what's on the website, how many miles of trails does St. Mary's have?
We'll see.
Okay, Brooke, show us what you have.
I wrote it really small.
Oh, she has 10. 10 plus, okay. And Tanner, what do you have?
I put 6.
6. The winner is Brooke.
Rookie is spot on.
Yep, 10 is the correct answer.
Okay.
All right, Tanner, this gives you the opportunity to make up for it. Don't let your Packers down. Where did cross-country running originate? And I'll give you 4 answers. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, London, England, Cairo, Egypt, or Berlin, Germany. Where did cross-country originate?
I picked the easy one to spell.
Okay, which one is it, Brooke?
I picked Berlin.
All right, Tanner, what do you have?
I also did Berlin.
Donnie, what is it?
Correct answer is London, England.
London.
Well, that means Brooke's still ahead, Tanner, with 1 question left. So the best you can do is tie here, okay? All right, so again, this will be a multiple choice. Which country has the most team gold medals at the World Athletics Cross Country Championships? This is both men and women's. Which country has the most team gold medals at the World Athletics Cross Country Championship? Is it 1, Ethiopia, 2, United States, 3, Belgium, or 4, Kenya? 1, Ethiopia, 2, United States, 3, Belgium, 4, Kenya. Tanner, let's start with you.
I put Kenya.
All right, Brooke?
Ethiopia.
Well, the correct answer is Kenya. So, Tanner, you come through and save the tie. Good job.
Imagine that. The Twins tied. Imagine that.
So, all right, now we're going to get into questionnaire. So, Donnie, you start us off.
The final 3. So, or no, we go to questionnaires next. Okay, so we'll start with Brooke. Where's your favorite place to run in Winona?
I really like running around the lakes, especially right now. They're really beautiful.
Tanner?
Same. around the lakes. I don't know. It's just nice. For one, it's flat.
There you go.
It's very nice. And I don't know. I think the paths in Winona are just amazing and really beneficial for the community.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that would be wise for other communities to invest in.
Well, chances are you're going to pass Donny and I at some point when you're running down there, because I know that's our preferred place to run
Absolutely.
as well. So. Second question, what kind of shoes are your favorite to run in?
So my favorite pair of shoes I've ever had, I've only had one pair sadly, but it was Skechers Go Run 5s. I don't know. I just felt like I was running on clouds, man. They were phenomenal.
And I'm new to the shoe game, so I'm still discovering my favorite, but my current favorite are Hoka Clifton 6s. I think they also feel like running on clouds.
I stick with the Asics because we get a deal on them.
40% off.
Okay, third question. What is your favorite, well, I'll start with Brooke. Brooke, what's your favorite restaurant?
Well, this is kind of specific, but Guy Fieri's Vegas Kitchen in Las Vegas is my favorite.
And what would you order there?
Pulled pork sandwich.
Tanner?
I would have to say Brew Brothers in Weston, Wisconsin. They have phenomenal burgers and cheese curds and fries. Just my favorite.
There you go.
All right, and then the last one for this segment is one phone app that you can't live without.
FaceTime.
FaceTime? Okay. Why is that, Brooke?
Well, my mom like every single day.
Nice. I would say for me it'd be Reddit. I spend too much time on Reddit.
Oh yeah, those subgroups can get pretty wild, I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Donny, you can kick us off for the final three.
We call this the final three. So we'll start with you, Tanner. If you could run a trail anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I've always wanted to, one, just visit, but also I think running in New Zealand would be amazing. I love New Zealand. Definitely.
Right.
I told Tanner and I were talking about this before we started, but I just told him anywhere flat I'd like to run. On my bucket list is to visit all the national parks, so maybe have a little run on each one of those.
Yes, you do that.
Okay, a second one now. How about a favorite Coach Larson story for us? Give us something good on Coach Larson.
Well, I haven't known him for very long, but I feel like his and my personality, we just clicked right away. But I was at Fleet Farm out of the blue one day. They have the best candy, so I'm pretty sure that's probably what I was doing. I found him a grandma sweater, and I gave it to him, and I said, every time I PR, you have to wear this pink sweater with like a watering can and flowers. So I think that's been my favorite memory. He's worn it one time for like, and that was enough for me.
Tanner, how about you? You've known him a little bit longer than Brooke, so.
So I'd say my favorite, I think it was my sophomore year. When our other coach, Niels Anderson, was here, he let us into Nick's office when he was gone, and we wrapped every single thing in his office with gift wrapping for Christmas. And then we wrote, he loves The Office, so we wrote some Office quotes around his room.
That's awesome. That is great. All right, last question. Tanner.
Yeah.
If you could go to any sporting event, past or present, what would it be?
I really want to go to, I don't know like a specific one, but a UFC event. I really enjoy mixed martial arts, so any UFC event.
Brooke?
I'd have to say the Olympic trials for swimming, the upcoming one, there's a lot of stellar athletes that are going to be swimming there. So
That actually would be really cool to see in
yeah.
person. Yeah, I'd agree with both of those.
Well, good job, you two. That was great. It's what we like about this format is we get to know you a little bit better, and in this case, even get to know Coach Larson a little bit more too. So.
Awesome.
So, Donnie, anything else for Brooke or Tanner?
That's it. They succeeded very well today.
All right, Brooke Shefchik and Tanner Moris. Thanks for joining us on the Cardinals Nest.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great senior season. Thanks for watching the Cardinals Nest.
Take care.